So here we are looking at chapter 2 of coding with a maze in Scratch. So here I am in my account, IceWazza, and I've gone to my stuff and I'm finding the maze sample that we had from last time, clicking on See Inside to load it up so we can continue work. Don't forget to pause this video at any point if you just want to do a wee catch up. So here's where we were last time. First thing we're going to do is to code our dog to get him to move around the screen. Now what I'm going to do is show you that coders often have more than one way to do things, and then it's up to the coder to decide which is the best way to do it. So let's try one way of moving and then a second way of moving, and we'll see which one is the best. So first of all, I'm just going into events here, into a category that we were in the other day when we chose the green flag. I'm going to choose this second event block. Event blocks always have those sort of curves above them, so they're starting blocks, the beginning. So it says here when the space bar key is pressed, but I want to be able to move my dog to the right. So I'm just going to click on here, and it would be a good idea to move using the right arrow. So I've chosen that. So last time we were talking about the X and Y axes. X goes across like an X, and Y to the sky. So we want to move him across the X axis to the right, and so that would be this one here, changing the X by 10. So now when I press the right arrow key on my keyboard, my dog moves across the screen. Now I don't have any other keys just yet, so I'll just pop him, drag him back to the beginning. So that's one method of moving. I'm going to show you another one now. So I'm going to, I've looked at that. As when I press the right hand key, he moves 10 across the screen. He could move a smaller amount. I could try 5, and now he will move every time I press the arrow key just a slightly smaller distance. I have to keep on pressing the arrow key for this to work. Okay, so that's one method of moving. Here's the second one, and then you can decide which one you like the best. So I'm going back into this time the category called control. Now there's a series of commands in here. Okay, it's really important to be thinking in a sequence and logically as we use these ones especially. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this if statement here, and we're just going to drop it underneath the green flag. So far our statement says when the green flag is clicked, set the size to 25, and then if nothing, because there's nothing in there, then something or other, and there's nothing in there either. Okay. So what we're going to do is go into the sensing category now, and we're going to go and use a sense for the finding the key. So down here you can see when the key space is pressed, we're going to take that, and the handy hint is to drop in the left hand corner into, see that little block there, see how it goes white, and then it's ready just to drop in there like that. Clicking on the wee arrow beside that, and we're going to use the right arrow again like we were before, and then we're just going to go back to motion and grab that same block that we were using before, change the X by 10. Now notice when I press the right hand arrow key that nothing actually works. Now there's a reason for this. If you read the statement and you say set size to 25, and then if the right hand arrow key is pressed, then change the X by 10. Well, what happens is the computer starts that, does that, finishes that instruction before I even get a chance to press the key. So for somehow I've got to be able to make this be happening all the time, that the computer's looking for me whenever I choose to press the right hand arrow. Doesn't matter if I do it now or in 10 seconds or in 20 seconds time, it's still hunting for it. So to do that, what you have to use is a forever loop. So we're going back to that same control section we were in before, dragging out a forever loop, and we're just going to throw that by dragging it close to the other one around that whole section. So let's press the green flag. Notice that there's yellow all the way around it. Okay, if I separate it and I press the green flag, notice it blinked very briefly and disappeared. So that showed that it did it once before I even had a chance to do anything. Now I'm just going to put the forever back in there, press the green flag, and notice it's still happening. Because this bit now says when the green flag is correct, set the size to 25%, do something forever. What is that? If the right hand arrow key is pressed, then change the X by 10. So let's see if that works. Oh, he's moving too fast. So what number here would be a good idea? Now you might have different preferences. I'm going to make it 5. Okay, so I've got that first one done, and now I want to get him to be able to move backwards across the screen. I prefer this method because it means I can just hold down the key and the dog will keep moving. I'm going to do a 2-finger click or a right-hand click and choose duplicate. I get the same thing and I'm just going to click it underneath there. I need to change this to left arrow. And obviously if I keep this number here the same, he's just going to do the same as in here. So how do you get something to go backwards? Back across the screen, positive numbers matched by negative numbers to go the other way. So let's practice that. Bit of coding. Oh, it's not working when I'm pressing the OK. What haven't I done? I'm waiting for the green flag. Yes, working. Right hand's working, left hand's working. Awesome. And on we go. Double click, duplicate, lift that one in there. While I'm in the duplicate mode, going to do the next one, duplicate, throw that one in there. This is going to be for the up arrow, this one for the down arrow, and this is not going to work because these are exactly the same. So when I press the up arrow key, he just goes to the left, -5. Okay, so we need to change. This is up and down, remember, is the direction of the y-axis. Up and down is controlled by the y-axis. So we're back into motion, and we're going to grab the change y by 10, and the change y by 10. And keeping consistent with our numbers that we've decided up here. So when he goes up, that's positive numbers, and when he's going backwards, that's negative, or down, that's a negative number. So now we just quickly test our program. Down arrow, up arrow, right arrow, and left arrow, all working, very happy. Notice that that forever loop is still working, forever looking for those keys. So don't forget when you're reading a statement to check if you've got a bug in your program, just go through it logically and in sequence to see where your problem is. Look at the small pieces. Look at what arrow you've chosen. Look at, have I got change Y? Or is it change X? What does it mean to be? Right. Enjoy doing that a little bit and getting your dog to move correctly.